This video is all about cycling the puck around. Much like how EA recycles the NHL series year after year, that's what you want to be doing when you're holding onto the puck in the offensive zone. You do that until an opportunity arises, and then you cash it in on the open net. So let's start with the basics. Cycling is a key component to a game of hockey. It's not just about entering the zone and taking a shot a few seconds later. It's all about taking the best shot that you can, and if the play that you make when you first enter the zone isn't good enough, you take the time to set up a cycle. That's when you skate around, you move the puck around, you pass the puck around, usually between more than two players, until you get a high percentage scoring opportunity. Those guys that get a high time of attack on offense, well, this is usually what they do. And when you're cycling the puck, the opportunity isn't supposed to be there as soon as you start cycling. It can take a long time to really get a good scoring opportunity. And with players moving around so much, you're doing this until your opponent's players get tired, or maybe your opponent himself is going to get tired and just make the wrong move. This play has been going on for about 5 straight minutes, and I finally bury one with 6 minutes left on the clock. So let's rewind a bit and see how this cycle begins. I enter the zone along the boards. I can't really cut to the middle, and if I do, I don't really have any good opportunities. When I get to the corner boards, I can't really push any further. So my options are to either spin back, pass it forward along the boards, or pass it back along the boards. When I pass it back, that's going to begin my cycle. I move along the blue line with my defenseman, I opt not to pass it, I do some nice stick handles to protect the puck, and I figured I was going to take a decent short side shot, which ends up getting blocked. We still have the puck, so we pass it back. We're getting pressured, my guy has no momentum, I'm going to pass it again. I see my opponent has a bunch of AIs around me, so I'm going to cut to the middle, and I'm going to take a great shot short side. We still have the puck. We're going to fight off these group of players and see a guy wide open in the middle of the ice. Unfortunately, we held the pass button for a little bit too long, but that's okay. We got the puck back and tried to do a little breakaway move. Still have the puck. Go behind the net, protect the puck, spin around, and try to force one past the defenseman, not looking in the right direction. We try to set up a quick lightning strike, but a guy is in the way for my last player to take the shot. We stick lift him and try again. Passes on the backhand, so ends up bouncing off the goalie. That's kind of unfortunate. Should have switched to the forehand to finish that off. He's getting pressure on the forecheck, which creates a turnover. Thanks to the offside warning, we got to wait a little bit because, how else would we know that our players aren't offside? Another great stick lift by me causes him to lose the puck. And while it's not really a cycle, it's how we end this play, all thanks to a cycle. So as I said before, we want to focus on high percentage shots. The one-timers directly in front of the net are your best bet for scoring, and that's usually what people try to go for when they cycle the puck. However, if when you're cycling and one of your players are left alone in a high percentage scoring area, you take the shot. When you have no other options, you gotta go with that D-to-D one-timer to at least get something to happen. You'll probably struggle the most against people who skill zone, that is, sit in front of the net and don't do anything, so don't chase you around to try to break the cycle. For them, your best bets are probably redirects, rebounds, or screens. We'll talk more about those in another video. In this clip, we enter the zone, and you can tell I don't really have any good scoring opportunities. We pass the puck around, hold onto it, and then protect it. Make him believe that he's going to take this puck away from me as we make the pass. With our defenseman, we're going to cut into the slot and then make a pass to Tavares on the right side. He's going to turn back around a little bit too quickly, so he can't take the shot, and we're forced to protect the puck again. Pietrangelo's got all the open ice. We're going to give it to him. We're going to make a nice behind-the-back pass back to Tavares. Damn, I can't believe I said that so smoothly. Cut to the slot again and pass it to the corner boards. With only 2 guys in front of the net, I just need to get around this Barry, which I do, and get a great shot right in front of the net. That ends up being a goal, which, believe it or not, is what we like to see. What I tend to do when it comes to cycling is move as much as I can with the puck carrier until I'm pressured enough not to continue. That is, unless I have a glorious opportunity like this one for the one-timer. Definitely my favorite one-timer to take this year. This quick cycle is going to begin with a bad pass from him, which allows me to enter the zone. There's not enough space to cut to the middle, so we're going to keep skating forward to the corner boards. 2 players on me, the guy trailing me, not as much, so I'm going to curl toward the boards. I skate back out like a hero after the war and find that there's no man open for the one-timer. I'm not really going to do anything skating toward the side like this, so I'm going to pass it back to my defenseman and then across to a guy with all of the open ice. The guy in the top right is a lefty, so he can take this strong one-timer along the face-off circle. Goalie's not ready for it, and it's an easy goal. That play largely happened because my opponent moved away from the guy taking the one-timer. What I do when I'm cycling the puck around is I'm focusing on the player that my opponent is using so that I can stay away from them. Once you learn how to get around the AI with just a little spin, which will also be in a future video, then you can handle any kind of AI that's coming after you. Yes, even my AI that's on cocaine, because people do that all the time. This play is going to begin like most plays. Skate forward toward the end boards, pass it back. We see pressure on the right side, so we pass it to the left side where there's less pressure. We dodge a player with our defenseman, so we know we can take a pretty decent shot at the net, which we do. After that, we try to get this backhand wraparound, but his goalie is ready for us. When you're cycling, you want to be using your defenseman, within reason. That's where most of the space is going to be if your opponent is running the collapsing strategy. If your opponent's running staggered or tight point, you'll find most of the space is with your forwards in front of the net. So that's another thing that you have to keep in mind. You have to try to figure out what strategy your opponent is running, what defensive formation they have. If they're using tight point, you don't want to pass to your defenseman because it could create easy breakaways for your opponent. Collapsing means everyone's in front of the net, so with your defenseman, you can try to set up a pretty decent shot. Staggered will likely have one of your opponent's players on your defenseman, but that means as long as you can get around them, you should be able to set something up. This clip didn't really lead to a good shot, but it was some great puck movement, so you can still study that. Brucey over there being down 4-0, didn't want to make it 5-0. I mean, what do you want me to do about it? Here I want to show off what my opponent was able to do with the cycle that I was actually pretty impressed with. So shout out to, what's his name over here? Night Horse. He made all the right passes, but my players love blocking shots. And then he also drew a penalty. But that was one of those times where I'm like, all right, he got me good. He starts his play with a pass to the corner. I think he was trying to get the cross-crease one-timer. Gets around 3 people and passes it back to Dahlin, his defenseman. Across to Ekblad as I am chasing him around thinking he's going to take a shot there. Instead passes it forward and then across for a great shot. He makes a great pass back to Ekblad, who I'm just not ready for, so I'm kind of forced to trip him or, well, just let him go. This play is going to show off some great passes and some great puck movement, but I probably could have taken a shot at some point throughout the clip. But something that I strive not to do is not force plays, not force passes. Like if I pass this up and then across to one of those players for the one-timer, I'm really forcing it. So I just keep going with these passes until someone's open, someone's got some space in front of the net to take this shot. I think if I made this one pass to the right, I would have gotten that shot that I wanted. I just made a video on the ideal camera settings, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that you do have a camera that allows you to see the whole offensive zone. You want to look for that open space. Who's open? Keep an eye on them, pass it to them when you're ready. And remember, all 5 of his players can't be covering the whole zone, even if it feels like it. If you really can't do anything, you're going to lose the puck, get rid of it. You take a shot, you pass it to the boards where there's nobody there. And then you can battle for a loose puck. A lot of people like to chase behind the net as well. If you get one of those kind of people, you let them chase you so you can get a pristine opportunity in front of the net. If you're having trouble getting your passes to the right players, you can go into practice mode and set up a 5-on-0 or maybe add some defensemen for the computer and start moving the puck around. Do that for a little bit, see how the AI chases you, start adding more AIs, and see if you can cycle against them. And then the last biggest thing about cycling the puck is knowing how to protect the puck. I'll go into more details on this later. However, you always want your body to be between the puck and the opposing player coming after you. Whether you have to do left stick motions, right stick motions to accomplish that, I don't know. It's entirely situational, but by doing so, they can't stick check you, they can't defensive skill stick you, they have to go for the hit, and they might just bounce off of you because they hit you at the wrong angle or they just don't have the velocity for it. And then if you anticipate the hit, you can always just get around them. Strategies play a huge role in your cycle game as well. The behind the net strategy pretty much ensures there's going to be someone back there in case you need it. But if that's not your strategy, it's okay to still pass it back there because one of your players will still rush back there to go after the puck. Finally, another thing that players like to do when cycling the puck around is if you have the puck and you pass it to someone else, chances are the opponent who had guys on you, the guy who just made the pass, is going to move away, allowing you to pass it right back to him. So keep that play in mind in case you're trying to create some room. And those are the tips that I can offer you guys on cycling the puck in NHL 20. Hope these tips can help you guys cycle like the superstar AI and bring your time of attack up a bit. As always, let me know if you have any questions or if you need help with anything in particular. If you have your own tips on how you can cycle the puck better, let me know, let us know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to chant your name in a future video.